Hey everybody, this is Sarah from the Hiking Outdoor Family channel. I've got a gear review video for you today. So we were sent the Talkpod A36 radio. So I'm going to unbox this and kind of show you what this looks like. It actually came with two parts. We're going to do an unboxing, and then later I'm going to show you how we're going to use this on the trail, and I'm going to tell you about a situation where something like this would have come really in handy, but unfortunately we didn't have it. So this got a little user manual here. So this is made by Talkpod. So some of the features that I noticed when I agreed to do the review that I thought looked great, it comes with a color screen. It's got a dual band UHF radio. It has standard battery. It supports 512 channels, and it's got a one-click button. So one of the things that looked really cool is that you're going to be able to use this to communicate. So the maximum it can do is 36 miles if it had no sight obstruction, it could do that. Now, if it had a partial sight obstruction, this is kind of like the ideal conditions for the radio, and it can go about 6 to 10 miles with that partial sight obstruction. Now, if you had no line of sight, it can actually go between 1 and 5 miles. Okay. So lots of little parts and pieces here. I'm going to move some of this out of the way. Charger. All right, so that's what came in that one box. Now let's take a look and see what's in the other box here. Some additional instructions. The charging cord. This here. So basically it looks like a duplicate of the first box we opened. So what I think is going to be really handy about these is being able to communicate while on the trail. We actually had a situation a couple years ago where we were in Rocky Mountain National Park. We were hiking with some of our cousins and in a larger group of people, and the group got split off into two, and we didn't realize that the one group took a different trail to get back to the car. We ended up kind of running back to try to find them. We weren't sure where they were. We had no cell service. It's definitely caused a lot of anxiety between us, like wondering, like if everybody was okay. I had the kids with me. My husband ended up being in the different group with his uncle, and we just didn't know if everybody was safe. So if we had something like these Talkpod radios, we would have been able to communicate with each other on the trail, and it would have been really handy, and it would have saved us a lot of anxiety. All right, so I want to show you here, I've got the Talkpod radio, and when you flip it over, you can see that the battery is going to go in here. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this battery piece here, just going to clip it in.
Frequency mode.
So it snaps in really easy, turned on,
off,
turning it off. So that one appears to be set up. So now let's get the battery in the other one here. Same thing, just gonna line it up like this. Snaps in super easy.
Frequency mode.
Turned on again. So there we go. Okay, so I've got the radio here, and I just want to show you how easy it is to screw in the antenna. Just put it here and twist. And that one is good to go. And now I'm going to get the second one set up here. Same thing, it's got this little hole here. You put it in, twist to the right, and you're good to go with that. Okay, so when it comes to charging the Talkpods, you have two options. So they send you this cord like this, and you can plug it into the bottom here, and you can charge your radios like this. Or they also send you this charging dock, and you can plug this in, and then you can nest your radio in it. And you can charge it this way. Oops. There we go. It's a little tricky to get in. And that would be another method to charge it. And then it appears if you didn't want to use the electrical and you wanted to charge it via USB with this cord, you could do that as well. So I like that it comes with several different options for charging the radios depending on where you're at. Like if I was traveling and I had these with me, I probably wouldn't want to bring the dock. I'd probably just bring the basic USB cord and charge it that way. Hey guys, I'm out here at my favorite...
Connie, can you hear me? Over.
I can hear you, over.
I'm pretty clear.
Hey guys, I'm here at my favorite local park and I'm testing out these Talkpod radios. My husband's back at our house. I'm a couple miles away at our local park and I wanted to see how they work. Hey honey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, honey.
Hey honey, can you hear me? Over.
Can hear you, over.
Come in pretty clear.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome, I just wanted to test these while I was driving along to see how they worked.
Me now.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome, I just wanted to test these while I was driving along to see how they worked.
Alrighty, so one feature I want to show you that I think is really handy with these Talkpod radios is, sometimes we're out hiking and we don't have cell service. But if you had this, you can turn it on and you can program it to your national weather station.
Chance of rain after midnight. Wednesday, south winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwest 10 to 15 knots overnight. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Rain likely through the day, then a chance of rain until midnight. Rain likely after midnight. Thursday, south winds 10 to 15 knots.
So I think that's really cool that you could be out hiking without cell service, and if a storm was blowing in or you had to check on the weather, you could turn on your Talkpod radio and put it to your local weather station. I just looked up ours, which is the Philadelphia station, which is the one that I'm closest to, and was able to program in the number here. So another neat little feature is that it has this FM radio button. So I've got my favorite radio station programmed in here. Comes in really clear. I'm going to let you listen.
Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to. Which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for all.
So that's a really cool feature that you can listen to FM radio as well through the Talkpod. Thank you to Talkpod for sending me a pair of these. I think they're going to come in really handy for situations where I'm hiking with my family or we're hiking with a group of friends and stuff, and people are moving at different paces and maybe we don't have cell service, so we can use this to communicate. And like I mentioned earlier, we had that situation in Rocky Mountain National Park where we were with a large group of people and two members of the group kind of were lagging behind, and they ended up getting confused and taking a different trail back. And it just caused a lot of anxiety and worry, were they safe? Were they hurt somewhere? If we had something like this, we would have been able to communicate with each other and it would have reduced the anxiety of the situation. We would have known that everybody was okay. Okay, everybody, so I wanted to give you my final thoughts. So we tested these at 1.2 mile distance with an obstructed view, and we were able to communicate clearly and easy with the push button talk feature. So my initial thing is I'm not like a radio expert. I don't know a lot about these, but it was pretty easy to figure out how to get the push button settings to work. It was pretty easy to figure out how to get into the FM radio. It was really easy to get the national weather channel. You just look up your local weather thing, you punch in the number, and that was really easy to get that forecast. The directions that came with it kind of more go over the basics, like how to put in the battery, how to put on the antenna, but they don't really explain how to use the radio. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a radio person, but we were very quickly able how to figure out how to use the push button feature. So that's really cool. But if you're looking for really in-depth information on, how to use different features and things on these radios, you're not going to find it in the user manual. So that's definitely a negative. But on the positive side, they worked like they were supposed to. Like I said, we tested it with a fully obstructed view, like going through forest, houses, snow at 1.2 mile range, and they were super crystal clear, which is awesome. So for our family, we're gonna be using these in situations like if we're hiking and we're in different paces on the trail, or we have to split up in an area that we don't have cell service. These are gonna be fantastic for that. I can also think like when we go camping, a lot of times when we camp, we don't have cell service. And, you know, my teens would like to go down to the lake or over to the playground or go fishing and stuff. And this would be really great that they can have their freedom and yet we can communicate, hey, come back to the campsite for dinner, that type of thing. So I think they have some really cool features. I could see maybe if you have a child who goes out in the neighborhood, rides a bike, goes to a local park, and your kid doesn't have a cell phone, these could also be awesome for communicating that way. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the battery seems really good for this. It says it will last 24 hours of continuous use. And then I thought that was very good. And then 120 hours on standby. So pretty good battery life. I would have loved to test it. Like it says it can go 36 miles with no sight obstructions, but I just don't have a situation where we'd be like that far apart from each other to test it. That just isn't practical for our life. So I'm giving you our opinion with the 1.2 mile obstructed view, that it worked. It was clear it was effective for that. But to be fair, I really don't have a situation where I can test it beyond that at this point in time. So I think these are really great. They start at $38 on Amazon. So for the price point, like a really cool little thing that you've got the push to talk walkie-talkie feature. You can get the weather report on here if you're hiking, you don't have cell service. It can also function as an FM radio. And then you can use this software called Chirp, which is a free software. And it came with the cables where it opens up on the side and you can connect it to your computer and you can actually program in all your favorite local stations and channels. And that makes it a little easier to use the radio if you'd have everything saved in here. So depending on how technical you want to get, there's all kinds of customizations and settings. I like the little handles. I like the belt clip it came with. They've got a sturdy, nice feeling to them. So like I said, I'm not a radio expert, but these are for the price point for $38. I think these are something that could be super helpful for a family like ours who likes to be outdoors and is in places that doesn't always have cell service. So thanks for watching. Thank you to Talkpod for sending us these to try. This is our honest opinion, and we thought they were really great, and they were effective at communicating at that 1.2 mile range with fully obstructed line of sight. Thanks for watching.